What's going on, y'all? Welcome back to the pod. I think we're on EP10 now, I believe. I'm your host, DuPont. Welcome to the RDS. Pretty cool episode today. We're on Zoom call with Jabari Coleman. He's been on our podcast before. It's been a minute. Welcome, sir.
Appreciate you for having me on. I definitely enjoy doing these, and I think me and you were talking about earlier. We're gonna try to make this a weekly thing from here on out, and next week we're gonna try to get our buddy Dylan Props on. So I'm looking forward to that and see what he has to say.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We got to get that content in with y'all up there in Oklahoma. Um, so we're gonna get right into it. I'm gonna make the floor yours real fast. I got some stuff on my side, but we'll get the floor going on you, see what you got. You haven't been on the pod in a while, so see what you got to say from the viewers side of things.
Not a whole lot. Been pretty busy with the hunting, and this year we I have started working with Thermal Sales Oklahoma, where we are the largest stocking thermal dealer. I mean, basically any thermal you could possibly think of, we can get it if we don't have it already. Um, we just went to SHOT Show this year, and it was great. It was great getting to see all the new scopes that are coming out and talk to all the salespeople and seeing what their side of things. But what I really wanted to talk about was what we had planned for hunts wise this year. Me, you, and Dylan talked about wanting to be pretty active this year towards the end of the year. Obviously, have our turkey tour,
Yes, sir.
fall turkey tour, our deer hunting down there in South Texas at the end of the year. But we want to get you and Carson and the rest of the group up here to Oklahoma, as well as go up to South Dakota. We had a guy message us the other day and said he wanted to get our little group up to South Dakota to go pheasant hunting, and I think that'd be an absolute blast.
Nah, that'd be crazy.
Also, there at the Gyp Hills Guest Ranch in Medicine Lodge, Kansas, they wanted us to come out and come waterfowl hunting, duck or on a duck or a goose hunt, and I think that'd be a lot of fun.
They have tea out there or no? Is it mostly big ducks?
I'm sure they do. I'm not that big into waterfowl hunting. I've done it
Yeah.
a handful of times, but my main thing is the thermal hunting right now.
So you're putting thermal ahead of everything currently.
Thermal on head of everything. I used to
And
daytime hunt.
what does that entail? Like, is I know obviously you're hunting yotes. Is it mostly just strictly yotes, or are you?
Yeah, mainly strictly yotes. We will hunt. We'll shoot pigs, obviously, if we see them, or if we have somebody special out that they want to go out and look for pigs, then yeah, we'll go look for some pigs and shoot them. Get into a few groups, but it's mainly coyote hunting. That's just what I've tried to perfect the past year and a half, 2 years since I've been in it, and I got you in it. I've had your brother down to Oklahoma a few times and his buddies, and we've had a pretty good time. So hopefully this year, within the next couple months, pups will be coming out and be able to get you down here to Oklahoma. And I know we've had a hard time down there in South Texas calling some coyotes, but hopefully we can get you on some here in Oklahoma.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That's always fun getting out at night time, thermals, whatever, calling some dogs in.
Once
Um,
it's get a little bit cooler, it's pretty hot right now.
yeah, it is. Honestly though, dude, I was out this tonight and it's pretty like windy. I don't know if it's from that hurricane or whatever, but it's like it feels nice out right now.
Yeah,
Um,
what hurricane is it right now?
it's Barrel, Hurricane
Okay.
Barrel. It's a Cat 5, but we're supposed to get like some rain and some wind next week. I think like Monday it's hitting here. But yeah, so anything else you got on your side of things?
No, not right now. I mean, I'm sure I'll have some more things to talk about.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So I wanted to bring up, obviously there's thousand routes to go, especially with you in terms of, I mean, we could talk just a whole podcast, our podcast just about coyote hunting,
Oh yeah.
or thermals or whatever. But I want to bring up, it's off season, deer hunting. Obviously I'm a big deer hunter. Um, it's off season. We're in, it's, almost dead of summer. It's July, right? People are often, asking questions, you know, what are you doing during the off seasons, during the dead of the month, dead season? There's not much going on. From your take, from we can talk about waterfowl, bird hunting or whatever, but just for deer, how are you approaching it? We're here at July, whatever it is, 3rd, on to when the deer season starts in September, October, November. What's your approach?
What's my approach right now? I'll deer hunt a little bit. Mainly, it's my cousins that are a lot bigger into it, but and I'll piggyback off them a little bit. I think this year I'm gonna try to get back into it a little bit heavier than I have been in a few years. So right about now, it's time to start getting cameras out. Um, won't start putting feeders out for a little bit, but get cameras out, seeing where the deer are moving, and try to somewhat pinpoint where they're going to be at in this upcoming season. Uh, it's a little bit easier to hunt them early bow season because you can pinpoint where they're going to be at, what time they're going to be moving, things like that before the rut comes. But yeah, I mean, mainly just get cameras out and see what you got, and with the amount of land that you have, that totally depends on it too. So get cameras out and see where things are going to be moving at and pinpoint them. That's going to be your best thing to do.
Are
But
are you doing
once the
any
rut
kind of
starts, once the rut starts, that's a whole different ball game right there. You can't pinpoint those deer; they just run and run and run and run and run.
right? Are you doing any kind of summer food plots, any kind of anything just to keep deer around, or are you
Uh,
just letting it be
I'm
natural?
not this year. We're just my cousins might be. I hadn't talked to them about it yet, but I don't. I didn't plan on it this year.
Now, how about from 'cause obviously you say you didn't do waterfowl that much, but how about like you do like geese, right?
Yes, sir.
Some of the big birds. What is
Yeah.
that process, right? Because obviously, what's that process like? Because obviously it's not season right now.
It's not season right now, so you can't really do anything. I mean, what you're gonna do right now is be looking on Facebook Marketplace to see what kind of cheap decoys you can buy.
Okay.
But the the waterfowl have an X. They have a flyway that they fly every single year, and they have an X that they land on. And so the best thing to do right now is to go get in with landowners. If you don't have permission on land, on a whole lot of land, get in with landowners. Um, Go and do some door knocking, ask if you can help them on the farm, ask them if you can help them. Harvest should be about over right now, so there's a million different things that people can do to help a farmer out, and that's going to give you major brownie points to get permission on their land, and that's what I would recommend to do right now.
Nice, nice, nice. Well, that's what my big topic is just right now. It's off season, you know, figuring out. I mean, it's dead season down in South Texas. It's hot. I mean, we're in the 100 degrees every day. So
That's how it's been here in Oklahoma. I think the past 10 days. I don't know if we've seen a day that's been in the 90s in the highs. It's
yeah,
been 100, 102, 103, 104. I think we saw 105 the other day, and it was miserable. It was awful.
yeah, it's not fun. It's definitely dead time. Stay indoors as much as you can,
Oh yeah.
or do most of your work. I mean, literally, I do all my work outside. Around 7 o'clock till 9, just 2 hours of sunlight. Um, that's good. Good intel. Is it mostly low fence? You hunting high fence?
I'm not hunting any high fence here in Oklahoma. We run all low fence. We don't have any high fence. There is one guy. There's only one guy in Northwest Oklahoma where I hunt. They're in Arnett that has a high fence, and he mainly just runs a breeder operation. He has an elk herd out there, and it's quite impressive. I took Carson out there, your brother, this last year to show him, and he was very impressed with it. That dude has some giant elk out there.
No, okay. So speaking of this, you're talking about low fence. I got a question for you.
Hit me with it.
At at what point? Okay, let's say you have a 150-inch deer, 150-inch class buck. That's a big buck in low fence, right? It's a big
Yep.
buck in general. At what point you're sitting in the tree stand, you're sitting in the box blind. At what point are you letting that 150-inch deer walk? Are
Mm,
you?
that's a tough one right there. I mean, you gotta if you know what you're looking for, that's gonna help you a lot. But if you're pretty good at guessing the age of the deer, I mean, if it's an older deer, then obviously then you're gonna either pull the trigger or let your arrow fly. But if it's a young deer and you can tell it's a young deer and he has potential to grow, um, then I say let him walk. But also there's another key factor in there where that deer going to be running at if you let him walk. Is your next door neighbor gonna let him walk also? So
Right. I mean,
you got to think of that also, and it's just that's a big decision right there that somebody's got to make. The 150-inch deer opening morning looks pretty big.
yeah, I mean, I got guys up in Tennessee, they're hunting on top of each other. They're stacked up on top of each other. They're
They're
not
not
letting anything
not
pass.
a 150-inch deer walk.
And at the end of the year, they're wondering where the big deer are at. Where are they at? I haven't seen a big deer in years. What's the problem? When am I not feeding them correctly? And da 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 da. When in reality, you're not letting that deer pass, which it's hard because I mean, if you're not gonna let it pass. If you're gonna let it pass, someone else is gonna take it. I mean, that's just what's gonna happen.
Yep.
So it's, maybe building a community around you, some kind of, yo, let's get together, let's have some kind of group chat, and let's let all the 150s pass this year. Something like that would be a great tactic coming into the season. But it's just something I wanted to throw out there and see your side of it.
And there's like you said, there's a thousand different ways you can go at it and think about it, but you're not going to have that much time to think about it. So in the split of a second, yes, somebody's definitely going to shoot a 150-inch deer. I mean, say that you got a piece of private land that you're hunting on, and public land butts up to it.
Right.
That out of state hunter that's coming in from Tennessee on that public land isn't a 150-inch deer walk. There's
No,
no.
no.
Um, so yeah, it's just depends on what you have in mind and if you want to shoot it or not.
Are you
Now,
oh, go ahead.
with you down there in South Texas, um, to be able to get the 150 plus inch deer, what's your feeding like? Like when do you put out
Yeah. On the low fence side or high fence side?
low fence? We can talk
On the
about low
low,
fence.
yeah, low fence. So honestly, low fence, we just keep it all natural. We're not even feeding protein on the low fence side, just because how much protein costs to feed, deer. Um, and have that run on the low fence side just doesn't make sense for us. But then again, we're in Derby, Texas, D-Tex in Derby, Texas. We're in the Golden Triangle. It's known to just have big natural deer. Um, so we don't do anything in terms of management or anything on that low fence side. Although we do kind of management in the way of, we're not wiping everything out that we see. Obviously, I've taken a 160-inch buck, 160-inch 10 point off the low fence side. My buddy Cole Gray, he shot a 164-inch 11 point off the low fence side. I've had buddies shoot 135. Connor and Spencer Beatties shot some, pretty bucks on that low fence side. So there's deer that just produce, and it's more of let's be management, let's be smart about it. Let's shoot one a year, and let's call it quits. Shoot one big buck a year on the low fence side, and just let them grow, feed on the natural vegetation. There's a lot of oak trees down there, so you got those oaks, those acorns that they're eating. Freer rivers running through there, so they're getting plenty of water sources. And who knows where the kind of crops are growing on other properties that they're munching on during the off season. So that's our kind of take on it on the low fence side. Obviously, on our high fence side, we're running protein double down. Gosh, 5 months now. Started in March, April, May, June, July. Yeah, 5 months. Will end in about a month. So they're going to be, 6 months hard on protein. Obviously, they got all the lakes and ponds, water sources that they need. And obviously, it's a little different on the high fence side because we got summer food plots going. So they have the resources to grow big. And, we've just done, great management over 15 plus years to, grow giant deer. So that's kind of our take on it.
That's definitely interesting hearing that. Just running protein for that long. I've never ran protein here in Oklahoma, and never really been around anybody that does. So it's kind of interesting to see how long you guys run it, and why do you guys? What month did you guys say you started it in?
We start beginning of March, and we'll run it till.
What's the reasoning for starting? Starting it in March.
So they're dropping their antlers late February, beginning of March. When they drop their antlers off, they're starting to grow back already. And we want to be on it immediately. And we have good deer. We put the hard work in managing these deer. That why not give them a little extra boost of natural proteins that is created into a pellet to see their maximum potential. I honest to God, like honestly, I'm not gonna say the name of the brand we've used before, but when we switched from that brand to Double Down now, um, you'll see 170 inch buck that was eating that old feed, that now he's 185 inch, just like that. Just because the protein mix and what's in it, and just those deer, you got to find something that the protein that they love, what's in it, so they're eating it.
That's awesome.
Yeah. I had another question for you. Obviously, D-Tex Whitetails, we been in the outfitter business for a while. We did it pretty hard, gosh, probably 10 years ago, before I had anything to do with it. Then we cut off, made it more of a family friend kind of place, exclusive, private. And now I'm trying to, start that business, start that outfitter back up on my side of things, kind of moving into it slowly. Obviously, gosh, we're at total, I think, 100K plus followers on DTEX, Whitetails, all platforms in general. So we got the community, we got the base, we got, potential clients in the future. But from your side of things, are you interested, whether it's deer, duck, geese, to get in that outfitter business?
Oh yeah, that's definitely something that I've talked over with my parents and grandparents a few times of trying to do something like that, and that would be. I mean, I just like you are. You were growing up. You ate up hunting. That's all you wanted to do was play sports and go outside and be outside and hunt and hunt. And hunt. So yeah, that's definitely something that I would be interested in the future. Starting up an outfitter business and running waterfowl hunts. I definitely have a lot to learn on the waterfowl side of things, um, but that would be something definitely I would. Yeah, that's something I would definitely be interested in. Now the deer side of things, it's that's a whole different ball game right there. You got to have a whole lot of land. I mean, you can't run an outfitting business on 200-300 acres. You got to have access to a lot of land to do that to guarantee, because that's what you want to be the best outfitter out there. You're not gonna open up an a hunting outfitting business to just produce and have people shoot 120-inch deer. You don't want that. You want people out there shooting 180-inch deer, 190-inch deer, and being able to guarantee a certain amount at least.
So I'm not disagreeing what you said, but are you saying that the less land you have, the smaller deer you have?
I'm not saying the less amount of land you have, the smaller deer you have, but
We're
the
talking
less
low fence too.
the lesser amount of land that you have is going to be the lesser amount of wildlife travel that you're going to have through there. Kind of like what we talked about earlier on your low fence side in South Texas. You only want to shoot one big buck off of the year. So a smaller amount of land, you're not gonna want to pull. I mean, if you have the opportunity to pull 4 or 5 big bucks off of the year, do you want to? No, because you want to keep the good genetics out there and keep them growing.
Right. So I mean, technically, you could test it, a year here or there for a year. Have one client come out, um, and not all guys. A lot of guys are just looking for meat. So even if they come out and shoot a doe or whatnot, I guarantee you'd be able to start the business up with what you got currently. Um, so yeah, you got anything else? Any takes you want to take? talk about, whatnot?
I think that's it that I've got for today. Um, just mainly talking about what we uh what we already covered, just early starts for the hunting season, what we're gonna do, and do you plan on? I guess I could. Do you plan on having any hunts this year down there in South Texas at DTEX?
Yes. Yeah, I got 2 set up for beginning of December. Again, I'll probably just keep it slow. I'd like to get some in just to get more experience, get more exposure, get more reviews.
Dip your
Um,
toes in the water.
do what?
Just dip your toes in the water and get a feel.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, yeah, I enjoy outfitting. I love watching other people, have the success and have the smiles on their face when, harvesting an animal. So I definitely enjoy it. Obviously it's a job, but I like it as well as just, a hobby for me as well. So yeah, super excited. Obviously, we're gonna have a lot more podcasts about this upcoming season, what it holds. I saw here, I already looked the other day, we're 87 days till deer season starts here in Texas, archery, September 28th.
It's coming up
So
pretty quick.
it's flying. I mean, it's gonna be here before you know it. And I can't wait to get down there. I'll get down there beginning of August and start scouting and see what I can see, just because I'll be too excited. Um, so super excited and appreciate you coming on the show today. the
Yeah.
Redo
Thank
the
you for
Redo
having
Pont
me on.
show. Um, we'll get you on. We'll get some of the other buddies on next time, and we'll have a good podcast then. Appreciate everyone watching. Make sure you subscribe, like this video, drop any kind of comments y'all got, whether you got questions or advice for anything we've said, and I'll see y'all in that next video. Peace.
You guys.